We are back at Dickerson Industrial Services in Mississippi, and you guys may recognize this place. I've been here a couple times before, back at the beginning of 2022, so almost 2 years ago now. We put in a 3 kilowatt CNC fiber laser, and you'll see it in the background here. And then a few months after that, we put in an 8-foot, really basic, simple brake. And that's kind of the subject of why we're here. That brake did some good things for them, but you know, the lower level fabricator style brake is pretty basic and pretty limited, and not always exactly resilient when you have a shop with a bunch of guys that need to use it. So we're here putting in an 8-foot 145 ton precision series brake with a Delum DA53T controller, 4+1 axis. It's really a nice machine. Now it's a lot more expensive, but in the end, I think it's worth it. So you can see the guys at Dickerson here, really a great group of guys. You know, some real characters. You know, like guys like Tweet and Snoot, and then of course Todd Dickerson, who runs the show and owns the company. A little over, isn't it?
You gotta be a little open.
Yeah.
No, it's like
Still pretty close.
really good. Really.
So this is Todd here. You know, he is the owner, but he also kind of favors the press brake work and kind of jumps on the lathe and does some of the machining stuff and TIG welding, things like that. So we were just kind of, you know, getting him up to speed on the new controller. Obviously, he's got a lot of press brake experience, so knows the basics and, you know, how to operate a machine like this. So here's a look at a tooling cabinet that we got for Todd, and you'll see a couple more coming up in some videos. And I'm going to start offering these as an option. It's $1,750 to add this on to the purchase of any machine, but very nicely made, stainless drawers, very heavily built, very capable. That's why it's on the trailer. Very close. Yeah, so you can see the controller here lets you kind of draw out the shape of the part that you're trying to bend. And then, of course, on any press brake, there is some fine tuning and, you know, angle correction, you know, things like that. But if you use the drawing, it will do the bend deduction based on the nose radius of the punch and the V opening of the die and the material thickness and all those variables, and make it where, you know, you can get a part to dimension very easily, very quickly, and it's super close. You can see how some of these are fitting up very close on the first attempts, and then just a few little minor adjustments and corrections, and then you're good to go. So we showed Todd here on this part. We took a box that's over on the table, you'll see it in a minute, measured the outside of that box, and then put those dimensions in the controller to build a back bracket to have a super snug fit on that box. And then we had the flanges come down a certain dimension on the edges of the box, and so you'll see the fit up and the measurement of that now. All right, and just for fun, let's do this while it's on there. Put a mark under that. Yeah, there you go.
It won't.
It'll be enough to see it. And then let's measure from the edge to that mark and see how close we are to what we were trying to get.
inch and a half. That's what we were looking for.
So one of the things that I do on a fairly regular basis is take machines in trade, but I actually don't take them back normally. What I'll do is make them available. You know, when people contact me to buy a new brake, I'll say, hey, you know, if you want to save $5,000, or, you know, depending on what size brake it is and how old it is, I've got a guy that's got a used one. He's trying to upgrade. You know, are you interested in a used one? But because these guys are not that far away, and we haul the new brake to them, which I don't really do too much anymore, we were able to take their brake back with us to the shop, and you can see it getting loaded here back onto my gooseneck trailer. All right, so the last clip you saw was getting their old brake, the Dickerson old brake, loaded up on the trailer, and then here we are a couple days later back in Texas, just getting ready to unload the 8-foot brake. And I don't show too many videos of loading and unloading in Texas, but this 20K Hoster, I have a video of when I bought it, which was probably 2 years ago now. And we paid $13,000 for it. It's a 1959 model, 20,000 pound rated. Kind of a neat, sort of compact, low profile for a brake that has this capacity. I mean, a forklift that has this capacity. And it's been great. You know, it cranks and runs. Of course, it's old school and it's slow, and a lot of gears and levers to shift, and not exactly the most, you know, easiest thing to finesse in, but it works. It does the job. And I think it's got a couple very small leaks, but for the most part, it's pretty rock solid and pretty stable. So you saw right there, Matt drug it all the way to the edge because we only have 6-foot forks on this. And normally, you know, the weight is all on the front of the brake. So the front of the brake has to be offset on the trailer past the center line to get your weight distributed. So it makes it, you really need 8-foot forks on a forklift to be able to do one of these. But we've done a bunch of them, and just drag it to the edge and then, you know, be able to pick it up. You can see we're still way out on the forks, but we have 10,600 pounds on there, about half of what this forklift is rated for, and give you a good look at the profile and kind of how short and fat and squatty it is. Pretty cool, pretty nice little old machine. All right, so me and Matt been working on this brake a little bit. We did pull this cylinder down, and one of the things that can happen on this is a cylinder can get stuck because this brake doesn't have homing switches, limit switches on the X and the Y. Sometimes if the parameters get set the wrong way, it can go all the way to one limit and get the cylinder stuck. But so we pulled it off, got it unstuck, and it's moving freely now. And Todd had told me, he's like, man, I think this thing might be pretty fouled up, and a lot of settings are off. And so we got a few issues going on with it. Like, you know, for example, this is the pump start button. And you can see it says the pump is on, but it's not actually running. And if you press this contactor here, you can hear it running. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but we got a few little issues to work out with it. But this will be for sale. We'll get it all, you know, cleaned up, make it look nice. We got all the covers and everything for it. And it's got a remainder of the factory warranty left on it. So it's going to be somewhere in the $29,000 range. These are like $45,000 new. So of course I'll, you know, give you training on it, support, and all that. So if you want an 8-foot brake with basic capabilities, we'll have this one for sale. Just stay tuned to the YouTube channel, and if you follow me on Facebook, I'll probably post it there as well. and it'll go quick. I mean, someone will want to jump on this that has some very basic needs. It does come with a 3-inch segmented V-die for the bottom so that you can bend thicker material with it. So if you want to bend, you know, say 1/4 inch at full width, or if you want to bend some 3/8 on it, you know, narrower sections, like maybe 2 or 3 feet of 3/8, it can do that. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one.